Hey guys, Jacob Barnhill here again today, talking to you about selling a home in Columbia, South Carolina, or really anywhere with some of the examples that we have. We're talking about the selling process, and our topic today is what repairs should we be thinking about? Which ones should we do when selling a home? So there's many times we're in contact with people well in advance when we are getting ready to sell, and people are saying the house isn't ready yet. We want to get some things done, and then we'll call you. And what I hate is when we get there, when you're ready, when you're done, and we get there and we go, oh Lord, you're looking to get a dollar for dollar return at least, or money returned on all the stuff you just did. That is a horrible conversation. So I highly recommend that you pull in a professional that can give you honest recommendations. I always say, I'm not there to tell you what to do, but we can make recommendations, more importantly, on what not to do. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things that you want to keep in mind, right? A lot of people have questions on, all right, I got chipping paint. I got maybe I want to do some upgrades to the bathroom, and that would help me sell for more money. I've got little nicks and scratches here, and then, a lot of work goes into this, and maybe we want to go get some extra bids. If you're working with somebody like our team, we can help do that. As part of our job is preparing you guys for the market, getting bids, making sure we got good prices, but also that we're not doing too much work. So here's a question that I would ask yourself when you're looking at what kind of repairs that you want to do to the home. Okay, this makes it much simpler when you ask yourself questions like these. Number one, what do the comps say? The comparable homes, recent homes in your neighborhood or similar homes like yours in the area that have sold recently. If you want to put granite countertops in because you think it will get you more money, but the other homes in the neighborhood have Formica countertops and they're getting top dollar for the house, you don't need to put in granite countertops, okay? So even still, if you feel like that's going to make you more money, it may only get you a 1-for-1 return, right? So we're not making any extra money, but we're having to do the work. Does that make sense? So ask yourself, what do other home sales tell you when you look at them? What do the comps say? Then the obvious question is, once you look at those, the next question is it going to make me money? Right? There are certain things that are nice to do sometimes when we're trying to showcase a creative space and we have some custom piece or something going on that's maybe funky or does need to have some repairs, or could be a lot of different reasons that we want to go a little extra and it's not quite like the others, right? But in most cases, you want to ask yourself, what do the comps say? Okay, so go double check the comps. What are some other things to consider? Well, it's always nice when you have the home cleaned up. Is it typical that we want to fully rehab the house and we want to strip pictures off the wall and we want to have this home look like that? Not necessarily, right? Sometimes we might have our collectibles and our knickknacks and things like that presented, but as long as they're presented in a nice fashion, that's something that you definitely want to bring up with a professional. We walk people through homes for a living. The joke out there is we take strangers through other strangers' houses, right, for a living. But we do this for a living, and we have a lot of experience on a lot of different people's feedbacks on how that's perceived, right? A lot of times this isn't just opinions, that something that we believe. This is our experience on showing lots of homes and how people do perceive things, right? An example of that is, clearing out closet space. We might love all our clothes, And the closet space might be small or medium size or extra large, but if it's packed full of clothes, you think, I don't have a lot of space in here, right? It's harder to see the space for a lot of people. So when we want it to be perceived well, even if the closet's this big, we want a few shirts, military style, evenly spaced, and then they look in the closet and they go, okay, I got space here for whatever this small little closet might be for, right? Hopefully not just clothes. That would maybe be for something else. I have seen closets literally like that big, right? But you get the point. We want to make sure that there's space. So we're talking kind of repairs, and we're talking kind of, other things that we want to do to kind of prepare the home. The kitchens and the bathrooms are where your dollars are always going to go the furthest. But again, you want to ask yourself, what do the comps say? So if we have stuff that in other areas of the home and maybe they're not as nice, but they're functional, but we have some other things that we wanted to do in the kitchens and bathrooms, we probably want to focus on the kitchens and bathrooms, especially if we're on a budget, right? Other things that can go a very long way is having the carpets replaced or the flooring nice, right? Floors and paint. We hardly recommend this in most cases that people actually have to have that redone. But if sometimes when the home's vacant, you notice how dirty the walls are, and then sometimes it requires painting. Actually, a lot of times we can get a lot done with those little magical erasers. The magic erasers, the little white foamy things that clean up all kinds of messes. Those things work amazing and can save you tons of money in paint. So magic erasers, sometimes we're just painting doors, replacing some basic hardware on some things that are old or rusted or worn, and we're not doing a full rehab. And sometimes, we're depending on what the comps say, again, maybe we're not touching some of those things. If they're still functional and they're not that bad and we just try to clean them up a little bit, that's usually what we're recommending for most folks. So what else? We talked about carpet. We talked about paint. We talked about the carpet. So a lot of times with the carpets, we don't need to replace the flooring sometimes, especially when there's carpet. Carpet sometimes just we can do a lot and stretch it if it's and then refix it to the floors and have it cleaned. We can make them look really good depending on how the carpet looks, though. So, or how old it is, or how worn it is. That may be, it depends, When you come in, if you wanted top dollar for your home, I would, we don't want it to be smelly and we don't want it to be really grimy on the walls. We want to clean them up. If it needs paint and it's really bad and it needs floors, the lipstick on the pig thing can only go so far depending on how bad it is, especially if you're wanting top dollar, right? So floors, we talked about floors, we talked about walls. Those are going to make the spaces feel really nice. Just some basic clearing of the spaces a lot of times. Like if there's a lot of things that you keep on your counter and there's no counter space, same principle applies to the closet. We want to showcase that there's ample counter space, right? We also talked about looking at the comps. We also talked about the kitchens and the bathrooms, that going a long ways as well. A lot of people's fears is that they have to live like this for an extended period of time, which is rarely the case. They feel like they have to live in a hotel or something. They always have a maid come in, or they're the maid and they're having to keep the home clean. If we do this right, most homes will sell in the first couple weeks, and you're not having to really deal with a whole lot of showings. Most of the time, it's usually just a weekend or two, maybe, that we're dealing with showings and we're done. And we're under contract and we're letting the buyer do inspections and stuff like that, right? And we can mow the lawn normal until we're ready to go to the closing table, right? So we're giving the buyer a nice home, it's mowed and cleaned out and stuff like that. So, but anyway, we were talking about repairs. We talked about the things you want to check the comps. The things that are most valuable, that will go the longest. You don't want to invest your money in places that is not going to make you money, or you're just doing the work and not making anything extra at all. Why even do the work, right? So obviously, in most cases, it's going to depend a whole lot in what you actually have going on. So you want to get a professional that looks at this stuff every day and make sure that they have their eyes on it. That way you guys are getting top dollar for your home. So hopefully these tips were helpful today. Stay tuned. We're going to do some more insight into the selling process so that you guys are more aware so you can continue to be those savvy homeowners. I'll see you guys on the next video. Like and subscribe. Leave us some comments in the comment box. Peace out, guys.